Hello and greetings there, my fellow repairers of Land Rovers and other things. This is very exciting. This is my first repair or something to be fixed on my Range Rover Sport L494 2015 that I've kind of recently taken delivery of. Now I stuck my ODB reader on there as any responsible Land Rover owner or product from Land Rover or its subsidiaries would do, and I've had a check and I have got a the AUX battery, which I didn't even know cars came with more than one battery, but apparently on these big cars with lots of electronics in, you need an auxiliary battery to assist with the stop start and all the other gubbins that they pack into these things that you don't really need. So I have got myself a little battery and we're going to attempt to find out where it lives and replace it. So right, this is a little fella. He is a Exide battery EK151. Now Land Rover obviously make their own batteries, but if you want to pay a lot more for basically a rebranded Exide battery by a Land Rover one, that I don't see much point, and we are going to replace it with this. Purchase this. They're not very expensive. It's about £40 I think, so not a lot of money. Another interesting thing, it looks like whoever owned this car before may have been a golfer, so but don't worry, the car will not be abused again by having any golf clubs put in it, because I certainly am not the kind of person that does golf. So where does this little chap live? He lives behind, oh, the irritating sun. Right, where does this little chap live? Well, he lives on the right hand side behind this panel, and apparently it should be quite easy for me to unclip that and discover where the battery is. There's only 3 clips according to the Land Rover repair manual, which I recommend you download if you've got one of these cars, because it's got a lot more stuff in it that you've got to learn, and you know, it's worth having the actual Land Rover one. You can download it on the internet if you've got access to such a thing, and then we're going to see if we can find that. So let's see if we can get to the place where this battery actually lives. So let's see if we can get in here, start to sort of pull this out. Aha, right. Actually, it turns out it's not very well clipped in anyway, but so that might get rid of a rattle if we take this out. The only thing I notice is that this does seem to be, oh no, it comes out from the bottom. Sorry, I was assuming that the luggage rail that runs along here might be trapping it, but actually it comes out, so we can get it out in one chunk. So there you go, one panel. Move that out of the way to one side, and now we have it hiding down here. Little battery, who'd have thought? So assuming that we've bought the right kind of thing, this should just be a straight swap and go in there. Let us continue. Okay, we're going to disconnect the battery. You start with the negative, take that one off first, and then the positive one. This is the vent hose, so I'm just going to take this and hide it up the back. Don't forget to put that back on afterwards, because otherwise you will regret losing the ventilation when you light your cigarette and the car explodes with the hydrogen in there. So let's just do that and get that off. These are just 10mm. I have loosened them already, so start with this one, loosen that one, and that one comes off. When I've opened the thing, I realised this was not clipped on over the battery. I assume that should really be over there when the vehicle's actually running, because otherwise, but I don't know. Good old whoever put the vehicle together. This is the one that you really don't want touching anything. Then all we've got to do is remove this 8mm here. Like I said, I've kind of slightly cheated by and doing these a little bit just to look at how it works. It's all pretty simple. Take the bolt, put it somewhere safe, and then this kind of wiggles around a bit, and what you can do is just move the battery back, and then it kind of if you kind of mess about with the battery, it kind of, this bracket might come out anyway. There you go. So this bracket will come out, and then you can get the battery out with any messing around. It's a bit of a messing about, so that's that. Okay, I put my battery back on here. I'm gonna just pop this bracket back on top. See what we can do to get this to slide in nicely. And then just line this up where the other one was and make sure that the bracket will go back to the correct position. Bolt and pop it back in so we can start to reseat. Just get this done in. So 8mm to do this up again. I think it needs to be very tight just so it's nice and secure. Make sure the battery's not roaming. It's generally held in place, which is good. Okay, so we're going to reverse our procedure of reconnecting. So we're just going to right, push it up against the round bit, and then it spreads there. There's little. I'll show you again. There's little bits in there. So push it up against the round bit, and it separates itself. That's better. Okay, so I believe that should have been there already. And don't forget to plug back in your breather pipe on this little battery. Otherwise, like we said, you'll get gases emitted into your car when it's charging. And that's it. And all that we've got to do from there is just pop back on our little cover or trim piece, which is here. Just got to align it up. It's got these, right, I was just going to say, let's see if we can get a bit more. So it's got 3 clips on it. 3 clips, one here at the end, one there, and like a alignment pin. I'm not going to put it back on straight away just because I'm going to do some more sort of messing about and tidying up, but once you've finished and you're ready, it should just slot back in. So there's a groove down here, part of this aluminium bit, and then just slot it back in there. And I'm just going to do some cleaning, so I won't put it in now, but I'll show you, but it'll slot back in. And then line it all up and clip it back in, and there you go.